We all want to say, oh, a revolution is coming. They've been predicting one in Nigeria before.
Alright, my people, gather around because I've got some seriously juicy gossip that's going to blow your mind. Nigeria should start getting ready for war. Yes, you heard that right. There's a secret plan brewing and it's set to take off before the end of this year. This is just a taste of what I'll be revealing in this episode. So if you're joining us for the first time, do you a favor and hit that like button, drop a comment, share this video across all social media platforms, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest gist. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Welcome back to Lagos TV show.
The home of crime scene.
It's happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happenings in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Okay, my people, here's the tea. You won't believe this, but the Nigerian government is allegedly pointing to drag our beloved country into a war. Yeah, you heard me right. This war plan has been in the work for a while, and it all started with the terrorism they initiated in the north. Now they've got everything lined up to launch from the north because they think they've got the upper hand there. Can you imagine? But hold on, it gets even crazier. The government, according to our sources, is not even pretending to care about us anymore. They are reportedly the ones behind all these insurgencies, all for their selfish gain. It's like they are playing a dangerous game with our life. And what for? Power, money? My people, this is serious. And you know what's even worse? The insecurity has led to massive famine in the country. People are abandoning their farmland and big commercial farms are shutting down because it's not just safe anymore. Meanwhile, the government is sitting there turning a blind eye like they don't see what's happening. My people, what they really want from us in this country is like they are pushing us to the edge, and we have to ask ourselves, how much more can we take? But don't just take my word for it. Let's check out the video and hear what our fellow Nigerians have to say about this terrifying situation. We'll be right back with more on this shocking development. Stay tuned.
I'm talking to you.
I'm afraid to talk to you because we don't know who may be the next person. So we appeal to the government to help us with security here and in the whole country.
Especially these Fulani people, they are the ones, mainly being the problem of many things that is happening here. Sometimes you will see them with arms, but nobody, to talk or to say anything. They will be walking freely with a machete or whatever. So we need to talk, at least if they have somebody that is controlling them.
A security expert says the government should give an account of the reasons why insecurity in the FCT has increased.
When we begin to have insecurity in Niger, in Kogi State, in Nasarawa State, in Plateau States, it tells you that even the Federal Capital Territory is not secured, because these are direct borders that have to relate with Federal Capital Territory on a daily basis. People travel.
He noted there is systematic and political corruption, majorly by the elites.
Alright, welcome back, my people. Get ready because I've got some jaw-dropping gossip for you. Remember how I told you in the last video that Daily Viral TV was exposing the government dirty secret? Well, it's back, and this time the tea is even hotter. Viral TV isn't just talking about the government incompetency anymore. He's saying that they are secretly planning a massive war. Yes, you heard that right. According to him, Tinubu's administration is cooking up a plot to drag Nigeria into a full-blown conflict, all to distract us from their failures and cling to power. Can you imagine? They are willing to risk everything, even the lives of innocent Nigerians, just to stay on top. But that's not all. Viral TV is also spilling that Tinubu's rise to power wasn't just shady, it was straight up thief. He's accusing the government of rigging the elections, and now they are apparently ready to go to war to cover up their mess. My people, this is getting well. If what Rotimi is saying is true, we are in some serious drama. And get this, Viral TV is warning that this plan isn't just a rumor, it's a ticking time bomb. It says the government secret plot could blow up in their faces, leading to chaos that will affect everyone, especially those in the northern region. This is the kind of stuff that makes you wonder what's really going on behind closed doors. So what do you think? Is this just political talk, or is there something more sinister at play? Let's check out the video and hear everything Viral TV has to say about this potential disaster. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.
The uprising of the Talakawers. Tunji Braithwaite predicted it. Remember the one of the cockroaches and rats? Fela Anikulapo predicted it. Ganifa Oyemi predicted it. Every person who had made it their business to examine Nigeria, to look at its conditions, the unsustainability of the choices that we have made, have had occasion to predict a Nigerian revolution. My brother Yele speaks of it frequently. A lot of people speak to the revolution on multiple fronts. Almost all socialist thinkers in Nigeria have had occasion to speak to the coming revolution. So everybody speaks about a Nigerian revolution. They speak of it as an inevitable outcome of our many trajectories and contradictions. In the case of Nigeria, where the putrefaction is not just governmental, it is the entire society itself that has become decadent, visionless, and devoid of purpose. A revolution in the classic sense, which is the overthrow of the reigning class, would not work. There has to be a revolution of the Nigerian mind. We, as a collective, would have to consciously decide that we can be better and we want to be better. So the Nigerian revolution is not inevitable. What is inevitable is the coming storm. And that coming storm is what I want us to speak to. If you're looking to the Nigerian situation to predict the coming storm, you must necessarily look to the rainmakers. You look to the churches and mosques, the Oro groves now. You look to religion first. You look to the purpose and the result. What has religion achieved in the Nigerian space? Stupefaction. So the Nigerian is not really given to too much thoughts any longer. He is largely dependent on the reflexes that he has inherited from his religious indoctrination. So instead of looking to use his God-given brain to resolve the problems, he is given to his religious reflexes in order to react instead of to respond. So when you have a situation where these perfect rainmakers are in the Nigerian space, the only thing you guarantee because of all these inequities is a storm, not a revolution. That our young lady from the south, preparing to cross the Sahara, she already knew she would be raped. So she bought condoms. She prepared for the journey. Rape was an acceptable risk. So to minimize that risk, she bought condoms, which she will ask her rapist to please use. Eventually, maybe a few out of 10, maybe out of 10 young men and women who will trek across the Sahara, cross the Mediterranean, let's say about 6 or 7 out of 10 would eventually make a harrowing months in detention camps, immigration camps. Eventually they make it to mainland Europe. Go to the internet. You see multiple videos. I saw one made by CNN actually. Young Nigerian girls in Parc des Princes in Paris being paid €5 to trade their flesh out in the park. They escaped. That is their own reaction. Responses. Multiple people have different stories to tell, but they saw the coming storm or the rain started earlier in their neighborhood. But what are the ruiners themselves doing? Almost without exception, everybody responsible for the ruination of Nigeria has a second passport. They have second residences. I know Obas, including the idiot who was trying to murder me. He carries foreign passports. They all carry foreign passports. They have foreign residences. They've given up on Nigeria. They are busy telling the Yorubas to hate Igbo, Hausa to hate Fulani, Fulani to hate Igbo. At the end of the day, they themselves are none of those things. Those things do not separate them. They are neighbors. In Knightsbridge, on the Potomac, in Dubai, they buy houses in Mecca, but their heart is far away from Allah. They buy homes everywhere. Nigeria is not their home. They are responding, planning ahead for the storm that they know would necessarily come because of the actions and inactions. They've damaged the army beyond, probably beyond redemption. Every institution of state compromised. They know that this is not sustainable, but they are planning for the day after the storm. They want you to react violently. Violence works for them. They want you to act independent of each other, discordantly, pursuing different things when your afflictions are actually the same. The ruiners have gamed that their interests are best assured by your embrace of violence, so that the system is gridlocked, and then they redefine this space in a manner that assures that they escape justice. Have you heard anybody talking about consequences for those who looted the subsidy regime? Have you heard anyone talking about charging Adisirika for the national embarrassment that was here in Nigeria? Have you heard anyone talk about it? How many times have you heard of Malami swallowing billions and billions? Who has charged him with anything? Trillions were printed during Buhari's regime. The only person being chased around is Emefiele. Trillions are still being squandered today, as if there is no tomorrow, as if tomorrow does not even matter. You're talking about a country with the perfect storm brewing. Over 20 million children. We're talking about the children that are not in school that should be in school. What about those who are not of school age any longer, much older? They're already in their late teenage years, they're already in their 20s. No training of any sort. No capacity for productivity of any sort. And yet, we've not declared a national emergency to prepare for the coming storm. These started where NSAS progressed to. NSAS progressed to end bad governance, end impunity. And that was where the last protest began. It began with end bad governance. It distilled issues. If you harmonize the lists, you probably have about 12 issues. Not a single one of those issues have been addressed. The first thing that the Nigerian state did in reaction was to bring some stupid bill that presumed to curtail the rights of Nigerians to be human. Stupidity and hubris of the highest order. There is a coming deluge. Let me say it again. There is a coming deluge. Ignore it at your peril. Address these issues. Address them urgently. Them, meaning the ruiners. They belong to no tribe. Fela said it rightly. They are beasts of no nation. They know nothing about God. Those who know of God will not leave you to be starving when they are spending billions, 90 billions to subsidize Hajj. You come, how many people will go to Hajj? How many would have benefited from all of that? Where did they find that in their own Quran? And as they are wasting money on you going to Hajj, they are doing the same with the Christians who are not even going to Jerusalem most of the time. They go to Jordan. They go to Lebanon. That is how they are preparing. You prepare by uniting yourselves.
Alright, my people, buckle up. This is going to be one hell of a ride. I'm not just spilling tea today. I'm dropping bombs. The truth is out and it's uglier than we imagine. Nigeria is not just facing a crisis. It's on the brink of war and you need to know what's really going on. Let's start with the shocking revelation that's been making waves. Rumor has it that the Nigerian government has a secret plan to plunge this country into war and they are not wasting any time. They are already gearing up to kick things off before the year ends. Now, you might be thinking, why would they do that? Well, let me tell you, it's all about power control and a desperate attempt to cover up their failure. Remember how terrorism in the north seemed to come out of nowhere? Well, according to insiders, it was never random. It was part of a grand scheme to destabilize the region and create chaos that the government could exploit. And now, they've reportedly planning to escalate the chaos into a full-blown war. Why? Because they believe that by creating a summoned enemy, they can unite the country under their rule. It's the oldest trick in the book, destroy and conquer. But here is where things are really twisted. The same government that's supposed to protect us is allegedly the one sponsoring this insurgency. That's right, they are funding the very group that are terrorizing our people, all to keep us scared and dependent on their so-called protection. It's like they first gathered the hen house. My people, they are playing both sides and we are the ones caught in this crossfire. And don't even get me started on this famine sweeping across the country. Thanks to the insecurity, farmers are abandoning their lands in droves. Commercial farms are shutting down because it's just too dangerous to operate. We are seeing food prices skyrocket and people are going hungry while the government turns a blind eye. They don't care because for them, this is just another tool to keep us under their bomb. My people, is this not a war? A hungry population is a desperate population and a desperate population is easier to control. So what's the real truth? The real truth is that we are being played, manipulated by a government that's more interested in its own survival than in the welfare of its people. They are using fear, hunger and chaos as weapon against us. Or they sit back and reap the benefit. And now they are pushing us towards a war that none of us want. A war that will only serve their twisted agenda. What am I even saying? We are already fighting the war. We are fighting the war of hunger, insecurity, bad government, economic crisis, inflation. But here's the thing. They can only succeed if we let them. It's time to wake up, my people. It's time to see through the lies and fight back. Not with violence, but with unity, with our voice, with our refusal to the pounds in their game. Because the real power doesn't lie with them. It lies with us. So stay tuned, stay informed, and stay strong. We can't afford to be silent anymore. Let's expose the truth and let's take back our country before it's too late. This is the real truth, my people. This is the truth they don't want us to know. And it's time we do something about it. My people, here is where I'll be stopping for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video to get recommendations, and also don't forget to click on the notification icon to get you notified